Why is it that the US undergraduate admission process is very unique?
They look at the profile in a very holistic manner.
Why should a student start his preparation from the ninth standard?
There are a lot of things that should be there in the student's profile. They take into account class 9, 10th, 11th and 12th grade.
What precisely goes in the admission process of a US university?
Alright, so the major components would be related to, first of course,
A lot of students look for scholarships. What is the process?
I have had students in the past who actually got 100% scholarships at US universities.
Hello and welcome to yet another session of Insights with the ETA. I am Sushant Vashisht and today we intend to continue on the idea that we started in our last podcast. In the last podcast, we spoke about SAT, which is an aptitude test, of course, accepted globally, but primarily for the United States. Hence, the idea of the day is to discuss the admission process of the universities that are there in the United States. We're joined by our expert Fiona Vashisht, the admission director at ET Education Services, who would help us unravel the secrets to admission in the universities that are there in the US. So, madam, once again, welcome to our session.
Thank you yet again, Mr. Vashisht.
Great. So, madam, the very first thing we'd all like to know is we had a lot of queries coming from our students, and what the students want to know is why is it that the US undergraduate admission process is very unique in comparison to the admission process of universities of other countries, say, for example?
The US universities in particular, don't just look at the GPA or the scores of a student. They look at the profile in a very holistic manner. So by holistic, I mean not just your academics, but other things also which sets a profile apart. So in terms of extracurriculars, co-curriculars, anything else that you've done like community service, these kind of things are actually taken into picture. And the admissions process for the US doesn't start in class 12. It actually starts off as early as class 9. And that's when the students should start preparing their entire profile for the process.
That's a very interesting thing that you just mentioned. And a student who's looking for admission in the US universities for undergraduate courses, you said should start his preparation from the ninth standard. Why should a student start his preparation from the ninth standard?
All right. So a student generally starts off planning about the admission process from class 9 onwards, because there are a lot of things that should be there in the student's profile. So the profile building part starts off when a student is in class 9th and 10th, which requires a lot of things that can be added. So this is why for the US admission process, one should start early.
That makes sense, madam. So, if I may ask, a student who's in class ninth, should he be involved in certain activities that would help improve his profile?
For students who are currently in class 9th and 10th, they need to focus on building their profile by participating in activities related to sports, maybe debates, drama, a lot of things like this, maybe community service as well, which adds to their profile. If somebody, say, for example, picks up a certain sport, say, for example, football or tennis, they can actually go ahead and play it at a national level or a district level as well, which will add loads to their profile.
That's wonderful. And, madam, if a student is in class 11th or 12th, would he have to participate in the same activities?
Well, yes, they can continue to do so, because, if somebody is playing a specific sport, then they can actually continue when they're in class 11 and 12. And apart from that, certain things related to their academics can also be added, say, certain online certifications or certain projects that they can do related to their area of study. Also, they can go into, participation of certain Olympiads, like we have science and math Olympiads in India as well. So they can do that as well.
That's wonderful. So, what I understand is that in order to apply to a university in the US, one really has to start working in advance from the ninth standard onwards. So, what I'm curious about is, madam, when the universities look at the scores of a student, do they look at only the marks in the 12th class, or are the entire school marks counted?
That is actually a very good question that you asked. A lot of people don't know the answer to this question. When we talk about other countries, generally only the class 12th grades are taken into consideration. But with US, it's a pretty detailed part here. So they take into account class 9, 10th, 11th and 12th grade scores.
Well, that's wonderful to know, which means it is important for a student to go on and maintain his course all throughout his school, particularly from the ninth standard onwards. Uh, there's another thing I want to ask, madam. When the US university looks at the profile of the student, you said that the student must have certain accolades in terms of participation in number of
Mhm.
things, must have good grades. But what precisely goes in the admission process of a US university, say, for example? What are the components there?
All right. So the major components would be related to, first, of course, would be the academics, where they have to maintain good grades or show, an increase in the grades if they haven't had better grades in the past. Then they would, of course, have the extracurricular and co-curricular activities added to that. Along with that, they have to take the SAT exam, of course, which is required in most of the US universities. Then they would also have to take the English proficiency test. So one of them, say either the TOEFL or IELTS or Duolingo as well, which is also acceptable these days. Then they also have to take a letter of recommendation or reference from either one of their teachers or the counselor who has the ability to comment on their skills and their development. Then, another major part which is there in the application system is the essays. So, the essays are something which every college requires from the student side. So in total, if a student is applying at 10 universities, there'll be somewhere around, say, 20 essays which a student needs to write.
Oh, that's wonderful to know. I've also heard that there's something called a statement of purpose that is also needed. Can you shed a little light on that?
All right, so the statement of purpose is required by fewer universities when you talk about undergrad admissions. It's the essays which play a major role. So the essay prompts, as we call them, are there for each university. So they can be something related to, say, your personal likes and dislikes. It will also be related to your academic side as well. So, for example, a university might ask, list 10 unique things about yourself. So you have to write about that, maybe write about an incident where you helped somebody who was from a different country, something like that. These are the kind of topics or prompts that they get.
Great, makes sense. What I understand is that for admission, for a UG admission in the US, it's important for one to go on and not just start preparation in time, but do a number of things as well. Now, to help our students and parents better, would it be possible for you to tell us that if somebody wants to apply to a university in the US, what would be the timeline of the entire process?
All right. So, with a complete profile, if we talk about a student who stepped into class 12 and has the SAT scores with them, then they should start off the preparation of the entire process somewhere around June, July. Shortlist universities, where they want to apply, and then begin to apply for the different deadlines that are there at US university. So, we have early action, early decision, regular, and rolling deadlines in the US, which start off from October onwards.
Oh, that's great. You said deadlines, right? What are these different deadlines, madam? Can you explain a little about this?
Sure. The US has a very different system where deadlines are concerned. It's very different to other countries as well. So there are a number of deadlines where universities accept applications. So the first deadline which generally students have is the early decision deadline, which is a binding deadline. By that we mean, if a student receives an admit from a certain US university, then they have to accept that decision and reject the rest of the applications, right? Then you have the early action deadline, where you can apply to a number of universities simultaneously and pick from wherever you want to actually study, and accept their decision. Then you have the rolling deadlines, where you can apply every month, till the time they have the deadline. And then you have the regular deadlines, which generally happen in the month of January.
Great. So while we know about the admission process now, madam, what I'd want to know is a lot of students look for scholarships when they go abroad to study. So what is the process of applying for a scholarship in the US universities?
So for US universities, there are different options and ways of applying for a scholarship. The easiest way to apply for scholarships in the US is at the time of your applications. So when somebody applies for the applications, then their profile is taken into consideration and checked whether they are eligible for certain scholarships, which must be somewhere around, say, up to 25%, right? Then if you talk about a higher amount of scholarships where, it is somewhere around 50% or even 100%. I have had students in the past who actually got 100% scholarships at
Wow.
US universities, and they haven't had to pay a dime, right? So for that, there are certain steps which are required, say, making a video, or writing a separate SOP or an essay required, and then share it across. Plus, there is one more system which is called the CSS system in the US, where there are certain states and universities which offer 100% scholarship, but you have to check whether you're eligible for those since you are an international student.
That is wonderful to know. I am sure that our viewers would be able to understand that they can save a lot of money. While Madam said that you can also get 100% scholarship provided you are eligible for it. I also have one more question, Madam. Do the deadlines that you mentioned before have any impact on the scholarships?
Well, in certain cases, they do. So, if we talk about, say, the early action and the early decision deadlines, if you apply to those deadlines, then you have a higher chance of getting those scholarships, which you get along with your offers, right? But if you're applying for higher scholarships or the CSS profile scholarships, then they have a specific deadline that we need to follow.
Great. What I understand, madam, is that it's a stringent and nuanced process, rather, which means a lot of our students must ensure that they start their journey timely. In fact, to all the viewers, to all the students and the parents, this is what we'd like to go on and say. If you are looking at the United States to go on and pursue your undergrad studies, the process is very nuanced. But with experts like Fiona Vashesh, we help students carve their path very easily and get not just the best admits but also a great chance of a good scholarship. Now, to know more about the admission process in the US universities, do follow us on different social media handles like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or YouTube. If you want more clarity, you can always reach out to us on our phone numbers or on our emails. And don't forget, if you want more nuggets of wisdom, do come back for more learning.